Peter, that bowl that we're looking at on the table there, can you tell us a little bit about how you've made that and the process that went through?
Yes, this is silky oak, the timber. So it's an Australian native. It's Grevillea robusta. The little interesting thing about that is that when the first settlers came to Australia, when they first cut down a silky oak, they looked at it and they said, this is an oak because of the flecking, because it was similar to the English oaks to have that. But it's actually not an oak, it's not a true oak, it's a Grevillea. Now this particular piece is what you call a natural edge bowl. And you can sort of see this on the outside. If you could imagine this going straight across here as bark, that would have been the outside of the tree. So that it goes up like this, and this here, where the base is, would have been towards the inside of the tree. So this was actually from a piece of wood about this diameter, okay? And again, the natural edge. So normally when you turn a bowl, it goes the other way, where the top of the bowl is actually the inside of the tree, and the base of the bowl is towards the outside of the tree. So this is in the reverse. Also, you can see in here, there's a branch, and also this pattern along here. So this branch, if you could imagine this coming across like this, there would have been a branch going in here like that. One of the good things about a branch is that you get this happening around it, and you can see this here. So this pattern would have been caused by the tree swirling around the branch. And you get little interesting things like this when you turn. Generally, the more branches you have, the more pattern you get in the piece. And it's not just, as you see over here, it's quite a nice, it's not random. This sort of randomizes your pattern, and this creates quite a lot of interest. Also, it creates a bit of difficulty because when you're turning, not so much with sharp tools, but you're cutting through an end piece here. And this tends to be a bit harder than the timber around it. It's gone relatively thin for a piece this big, probably about, I don't know, must be around 10 mil or so, which is relatively thin. And then what I've tried to do with the shape is that I've just started to do this on some pieces. It has a base, also it goes around like this so that it looks like it's sitting on a pedestal. Also, what's happened here is on the side is that sometimes when you get a branch, you get some soft material inside towards the pith of the branch. So what I've done is I've removed that so that it won't be a problem later on. And what I've done is this has been inlaid with crushed malachite. So the malachite's been set in there with a super thin super glue. Some people use epoxies, but epoxy tends to be a bit thick. The super glue is thinner, so it actually bites into the wood and it gives much better adhesion to the wood. So it's less likely that you're going to get any separation. And you can generally feel that if you run your fingernail over a piece and you can feel a little click in there, it's because the inlay has become separated from the actual timber. But with the super glue, it tends not to do that because it gets a much better bond. Also, I find the super glue is really good in that it allows me to get to working almost immediately. With epoxy, that would have to dry possibly overnight. The super glue, I can be back at work within 3 or 4 minutes at the most. Generally, it's almost instant, so that I can actually start grinding that back and finishing it off.